Hey, it's Eugene Driscoll of valleyindy.org. Wanted to give a quick introduction to this audio clip I am about to play. So this is from the November 9th meeting of the Ansonia Board of Aldermen. They're going to be talking about Olson Drive. That was federally subsidized housing there. Riverside Apartments were over there. The city, or Ansonia Housing Authority actually, tore them down over the years, and now it's a field, and it was going to be this one thing, then it was going to be another thing. Now there is a deal that's pretty much been finalized where the Ansonia Housing Authority, after getting permission from federal HUD, is going to sell the land to the city for $500,000. The city is entertaining a proposal from the Primrose companies of Bridgeport to possibly build a private recreation center there. So that's sort of the backstory. There's much more to it, I guess, but that just sets up the clip that you're going to hear. And in this clip, you're going to hear Alderwoman Diane Stroman speak first, then Corporation Counsel John Marini, I believe then Economic Development Director Sheila O'Malley, Alderman Tony Mamone, and then at the very end, Alderman Joseph Yauman. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Alderwoman Stroman.
Good.
Oh, okay. At last month's meeting, there was a question that was asked of Tony actually asked a question. And the question was about the Olson Drive property. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I want to clarify it, because it was insinuated there was some of us on the board who seemed to be confused or was saying some things that weren't exactly true. And it was about the fact about the property, a deal already being made about the Olson Drive property. So when we walked away from that meeting, there was an understanding, based on, John, your response, that there was no deal, correct?
Exactly, and there is none. There is no finalized deal. I think I kind of have an idea, because the question sort of came up through another channel earlier.
Oh, I don't know about earlier.
To a political...
Let me finish asking it, though, okay? So there's no deal, but during this campaign, there was a publication that was put out that showed the property and showed the building for 2023. Now, you talk about confused. If you're saying there is no deal, there's no plan in place, we haven't accepted anything. How can you put something out there that is reflecting that this is going to be happening? So, John, can you help me explain that?
Definitely.
Can I?
Definitely. There's, in terms, and I'll let Sheila address as well, but, in terms of what the Board of Aldermen has acted on, there is no agreement. This Board of Aldermen needs to engage in negotiations and has to reach a final result. However, a political party, voicing their position, and their intention as to what they would like to accomplish is different, right? And that very much depends, of course, on whether the political party is successful to be able to do so, right? That's the purpose of an election, putting those ideas out there. And so, what was put out there in a political flyer was obviously the intention of the party, telling the residents, hey, if elected, this is what we want to do. But in terms of what this board has authorized, yet to be authorized, right? So that party needs to make good on its promise, if it's putting it out there, to get it done. But there's a difference between a political, something that's out there as a political promise, a political objective, and what this board has done. There is no agreement. There's no contract. A bidder was selected, but for that to become reality, the Board of Aldermen is going to have to negotiate and come to an agreement. So it very much is what it was last month. But yes, it was the expression of a political party, the Republican Party, to get that done, to get that project done.
Confused the heck out of me. Thank you.
I would just add, and I will say this with caution, that we had a formal bid process to which we received a response and we accepted that response. So I want to be careful I want to tell you that, yes, you have to negotiate an agreement with the successful developers, but we did have a formal bid process for which we then told HUD that we are accepting that bid and that property would be used to create a recreational component or components. So just caution the board that we did have a bid. We presented to HUD, and they relied on that information when they gave the okay to allow the housing authority to sell the property to the city.
Now, Sheila, in the instance that we cannot reach an agreement with the developer, we are essentially back to square one. We could open the bid process again and go back out and start all over and review our options as a city at that point, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
You have precedent to look at with this. Obviously, this Board of Aldermen chose to negotiate with Mr. Nasserino's company with respect to the ATP Palmer building. And of course, that eventually was not the company that ended up getting the contract because that negotiation did not bear fruit. It did not bear an agreement that was acceptable to all sides. So, you're looking back, there's a vote of confidence to negotiate. And obviously there's a hope to be able to accomplish the project for the good of the city. But until there's a deal, there's no deal, right? It has to get done.
And let me just add is that in addition to that, is that we did not accept a bid. There was an RFP a request for proposals, and there was a positive vote on the proposal that was submitted, not on any bids or any specifics or anything like that.
That's not what I hear Sheila saying.
I think we use bid and proposal sort of interchangeably. Their project proposal, we consider a bid for the work, but it was an invitation to negotiate. A contract has to be agreed upon for this to become a reality. And no, we're not there yet. Obviously, we have not had that meeting or that vote.
Thank you.